Hi everybody, this is Diane. I'm working on these really fun date book journals. I believe you saw these finished with, I don't know if I had the lace, maybe you didn't see them finished, but I sewed everything down, added embellishments, and added the lace to the inside, sewed all the way around. So it is wallpaper with a piece of quilted fabric on top. This is the only one that is pieced, but they were just chunks and they were cut just like this, and I just didn't even them up. I just stitched them down and added the date book cover and some decorative elements. And I have some pages ready to go into each signature. And, you know, it's pretty thin. There's not much there, but we have a lot of stuff to use for bulking them up. So I'm not going to stick them in the signatures or in the covers just yet. I want to show you the covers quickly because I don't remember what you saw. So it's wallpaper on the outside with the quilted piece. See this one? The rest of them are all just a solid piece of fabric that are quilted. But I don't know where they came from. They're vintage. At least to some extent they're vintage. And this one has a light green with a little bit of white. I think it's a floral design on it, but it's very faint. And there's that with wallpaper on the inside. I love this one because I love those bright flowers. And this is a little bit more plush, so when I sewed this on the corner, it kind of pillowed it, and this, because it's much more plush than the other quilted pieces that I used. But I love this with this. I think it's a really pretty one. But this is the one I'm keeping because I used to have this 1972 Hallmark date book when I was probably 9th grade. And so these are the signatures that I put together. And I did a video yesterday, but it didn't work out because somehow I had put it on mirror. So it was reversed. The images were reversed on the video. And it was, I forgot what else. I had two things wrong with the video. So we're not going to see that video, but all I did was I had all my papers spread out and I collated them, and then I made a pocket and a tag, which I'm going to show you and do the last couple of those. So you're not missing out on anything. I'll just show you the kind of papers that I used. There's a coloring book page and scrapbook paper, and just some random small pieces I wanted to put in. Music paper. This is actually from a book about learning how to play drums. A dot matrix paper that I sprayed, and I just love the crinkle that it gives this thin paper. A page from a craft binder. A bright colored copy paper. This is a vintage reference book, like an encyclopedia, but it's also a thin paper, and I sprayed that a little bit too. A green ledger, just a partial scrapbook paper. This came from a book about how to grow lilies. Every journal gets one of these pages. They're just so fun with these illustrations on every single page. This is a fold-a-note and scrapbook paper. Just a little page from a children's diary. This is from a calendar, and it was a sports-themed calendar or activity anyway. And it almost looks like a schematic. This one is about aerobic dance, and I put that in mine because I used to do aerobics. And this is Oriental paper, Japanese paper. It feels textured, kind of like a handmade paper, so I don't know if it's actually an origami paper. But it was just 6x6, and then I added a page from like a little gift book, and I sewed it to the origami paper, and it's just a little tuck spot there. This is part of a cover from a music book, and this was for playing the recorder. And I think one of my sisters took recorder lessons in school. I didn't, but I think one of my sisters did. I'll have to ask. And then this is computer paper, computer stationery with herbs all around the border. And another small paper and page from a large children's book, and a page from, I'm not sure what kind of book it was, kind of technical drawing or something. So every journal gets a page out of that. And then this goes with something else. I wonder where it went. Maybe it goes on this, yeah. So this I'm going to attach to this, and it will be a pocket right here. And I think this goes in the middle because of the pocket we're going to make today. It's going to go, I wanted it to go all the way across. So they all have similar pages. And what I also have here are, that I want to include in the journal, at least a lot of these things. A box of these flashcards. Oh, these are some of the smaller pages that I have to put into the other signatures. I collated all the full-size pages, and then I went back in and added the smaller pages, but I have to do that in the other 3 signatures. And I pulled out a bunch of scraps that were whimsical or just bright, or that I thought would just be fun to use in an eclectic style journal, a freewheeling journal like these that I'm doing. These are the project we're going to work on today. I have some altered paper clips that are made with vintage images from magazines, and then I have some more more pieces ready to make into altered paper clips. I'd like to put 1 or 2 of these in every journal. And I have just some fun flashcards, some labels, some tickets, some can labels, and some photo sleeves. And I do have some vintage photos. I have my box of vintage photos on the floor that I'll put in one of these sleeves. And then these are just pieces I pulled from my box of ready-made ephemera that I've already made. So I'd like to use some of these in these journals. And that's not all. And this is just a 1 signature journal, but it does have 20 pages in each journal. So I also have, the pages that go along with, they're the date books. They go with the cover pieces that I use. So each journal will get all the pages and the back cover that go with that cover. Some recipe cards. This is something I made out of one of these flashcards, just playing around. So I want to make something similar for each journal. I meant to leave this top part open to be a little pocket, but I didn't. I forgot. And I took some bingo cards and just added some fabric to each one. So each journal will get one of those. I have these fun little snack bags that I don't know how I'll use them in there, but I pulled them out because they're fun and whimsical, and I'd like to use them. And then I have some peanut and popcorn bags. So we have plenty of stuff. Oh, and children's playing cards. And just regular playing cards with the suits on them. Oh boy, got a lot of stuff, and it is going to be so fun. I love these kind of journals where, like I called it freewheeling, I just kind of put what I want in them and have fun with it. I'm not trying to work with a theme. I'm not working with a digital kit. It's just really fun. And then I have some fabric ruffles that I'd like to add onto the edge of a page. So I had started this, like I said, in yesterday's video that didn't work out. So let's just go ahead and finish these. So what these are a tag and pockets made out of these old calendar pages. And this calendar is from 1959, and it's from a drugstore. So it advertises things that you would buy in this drugstore. And it does have some things on the back. So I wanted to make sure I just used pages that I didn't really care about what was on the back, because the pieces are glued down to other things. So I made 3 sets of pockets, and this is what I was talking about when I said I wanted that plain page in the center, because I want the pockets to be like this so you can see the whole ad. Looks like I have to trim that pocket a little bit. It's kind of wide, but that's what I want to do. So it's pretty simple, but it's effective and fun with a vintage element to it. Yep, I trimmed it just enough. So these pieces were cut from the top of the page, and then I cut these from, you know, the dated part of the page. And I think I will sew these onto the page. I'll just clip that in there. And these pockets would be good ones, or these tags would be good ones for the front pocket. And then I have these others that I pulled from my ready-made stuff. So nice big tags to go in the pockets. So I have one more of these to make. These are glued down. They're just clipped together so that I keep the 2 pieces that go together in there. I have these 2 pieces ready for their vintage calendar parts. While I worked today, I can tell you that I went to see the home of my daughter's neighbor. He isn't in town. He doesn't even live in town anymore. That's why he wants to rent his house out or sell it. I don't know if he's actually, you know, decided to rent his house to me, but he contacted my son-in-law, told him where to find the key, so that he could let me in the house and we could all go through the house. And his belongings are still there. He's got clothes, he's got food in the cupboards, all of his furniture is there. You can see the pet bowls and the cat litter boxes and stuff. You know, he hasn't moved out of the house, but he's not going to be living there anymore, so he's got to do something with it, and he's trying to decide, because his job transferred him, he's trying to decide if he wants to sell the house or rent it. But I'm thinking that because he let my son-in-law show me the house, that he's leaning toward renting if he hasn't decided that's what he wants to do. And he would rent it to me because he didn't even like advertise it or anything yet, but because, you know, he talked to my son-in-law, and then my son-in-law let him know that I would be interested in it. So he said he would like to rent it to me because he knows that my son-in-law would help me if anything happened in the house while he's not around, you know. So anyway, all of that to say, let me put these where they belong, and then I won't lose them. I got to go through the house yesterday, and I think I would love to live there. For one thing, I listed some negatives and positives after I got home. Where's that page? I'm not sure. The page that I put in the center. I wonder if I pulled it out of this book. See, I already glued this one together and added a gymnastics page inside it. Okay, so I'm just going to clip this here. I'll find the page that goes there later. So I didn't have very many negatives. One of them is that it's got a tiled counter, like squares this big that are almost like grouted. Maybe they are grouted. And so it's not a smooth kitchen counter. And also it's this is the kind of page that I'm looking for that middle. It's also a 1 bowl sink. And I don't find that convenient at all. But those are things I can live with. It has a gas stove, which I was hoping for. And I think those were the only 2 negatives, really. This is the one. But it's right next door to my daughter, which is a big plus. And it's downtown. It's in the area of the town where I used to live, somewhat near where my daughter lives. And I love walking around that area. And I can walk to the theater, and I can walk to the post office and my bank. They're all right there. And I'm still close to my parents and my son because we all live in they live in the very next town, but it's like minutes away. And, so the house. The rooms are a little small, but they're bigger than what I have now. And there's the laundry is downstairs. The basement is finished, not fancy finished, but it is finished. And he has, well, the laundry is down there, but also they have furniture down there, like a little rec room kind of thing. And he had it kind of is the room, and then there's a little area here that kind of bends around the corner, and he has some exercise equipment there. And this is the area where I would put my craft room. Unfortunately, I don't think there are ceiling lights, so I would have to have something hung from the ceiling for lighting. And the laundry is another room off of the main room there. So I would put my treadmill down there and my craft room. And I'm pretty excited about that. I'm feeling a little anxious about the actual act of moving, packing up and getting things there. And I'm not nervous about setting up my living areas, kitchen and everything, but my craft room, that makes me nervous. Like, how long will it take me to get settled in there? And I think it can be the kind of setup that I've been wanting. So anyway, I'm excited if he decides to rent it to me. So I told my son-in-law that yes, I want to live there. And now I just wait to see what he says. The owner, not my son-in-law. There is a garage, so that would be nice to have my car in a garage again. And I've been in this place for 5 years. I moved in just before the lockdowns, the COVID lockdowns. I moved in February of 2000. So I've been here 5 years and I'm ready to get out. So there is a garage, and so there would be storage in the garage. It's like a 2-car garage, and I only have 1 car, so I can have storage in there. And I have a lawnmower right next door, like a person to mow the lawn right next door. My grandson, Teddy, mows my lawn for me for pay. And I'm sure he would shovel the walk for me for pay, too. So those are the tags and the pockets. Let's look at a ruffle for these. I think I would put a ruffle on this page. And obviously I was thinking about putting this here as a pocket. This is digital. Looks like it was made from a pattern. So I might put that there as a pocket, but let's look at ruffles. I like this just because it's quirky and not something I would normally use, but I could make a ruffle out of that there. But I have some ruffles already made. I just went through one day and made ruffles out of some strips that I had. I like this on here. And I'm not trying to be too matchy, but sometimes I just can't help it. I like matching things. So this is a bit matchy, but I'm gonna go with it. Maybe I'll put another ruffle in the back half out of something quirky, if you call that quirky. This is not all the same width. It gets wider as it goes down. I'm not trying to be too matchy, but here I am matching things. Guess this probably goes here. And one more. It was handy having all of these ruffles already made. Okay, so now let's figure out I ordered these cards from an Etsy seller, and it was cute when it came. It was, you know, in the box, and this was on the top of it with a string tied around it. Use, like making sure that I am going to use my cards. So I'm using them. Now, where did I have this in here? I think I had it on a music page. And I'll probably sew that down. So color doesn't really matter because it's just going to be on a neutral page. So we're just going to have fun. I think I need this to get the size right. And I just randomly tipped it sideways to cut it at an angle. I didn't measure anything. Looks like it's already the right width. It's just a little bit shorter, narrower, but that's okay. Just gonna go grab some fabric. Just a little glue to hold it in place. Maybe I want this way, and this one this way. No, I want the cards, even though the fabric is going to kind of match the line of the pocket, I want the card going in a different way. And I'll try to remember to not stitch the top closed so that it will be another pocket. And I'll do these, finish these at my sewing machine. This is a dyed fabric. It was a piece of linen. And since it says red, we'll use this. want to cover that drum. So I'll move this one back here. These are all pages from the drum instruction book, which was a fun find. Okay, let's think about what other elements I have here, like the tickets. I was thinking the tickets could be used to just staple, sew, or glue onto a page as an embellishment. Like, I don't like that yellow, it's too pale on the white. Like that, just staple it there. And I could also use them as a little pocket. I could use them as a side pocket, or maybe a pocket here. And a pocket there. Lots of fun things to do with these tickets. And these are in my Etsy shop, by the way. I have several kinds of tickets in my Etsy shop. This is that craft page. So maybe I'll sew those to that page. And I'll just go ahead and staple one right there. It could also be tabs. If you glued it together, it could be a tab. I use a different one because it weakens it when you fold it. Looking for the craft page. I'll put tickets on this side here because I don't want to cover up that. It looks so pretty. I could glue them to cardstock. I probably will glue them to a colored cardstock scrap so that things don't get caught in the hole or that this doesn't weaken. And I won't be matchy. Just gonna grab. That's just not gonna work. I'm going to do a lot of sewing on these things, so I'm just going to glue this down and I will end up sewing around it. And it doesn't need to be cut straight because this is a quirky, eclectic journal. And that helps add some more color to the page. It's getting thicker already, and I still have a lot to do. Well, I will go back and add tickets to the other pages, but I want to think about the popcorn bags and the can labels and the photo album sleeves. I don't know if I can do everything in one video. Probably not. I'm at 43 minutes already. So, yeah, I'm just going to do a little sewing and I'll come back and show you, and then I will end the video and I'll continue on doing these other things in the next video. So hang on and I'll be right back. Okay, I did a little sewing. I didn't do it in all of the books yet, but I did some in this. So I think what I'll do is kind of finish up this signature and then copy all of that in the other 3 journals. So I sewed this pocket. I sewed around the edges and then sewed it to the page. So that's all set to go. And I added a triangle fabric here with a bit of trim. Oh, I should have sewn that on, but I didn't. I skipped past that. I did go ahead and ruffle up this fabric and glue that on the edge. And that's going to be in the next video. And then I sewed around the tickets and sewed the pockets on. And I think I had mentioned at the beginning of this video that we were going to do some stamping, but I don't know if I said it. But I didn't do it. So we'll do that in the next video, along with talking about the photo sleeves and the other items that I mentioned. So I'm having too much fun to stop. I have time to go for a little bit further. And so I'll do another video and I'll see you there. Have a creative day. Bye.